So, Nottingham Forest very recently won a game of football 7-0. 7-0. It really did happen. I'm just trying to process that myself. And in this video, I'm going to be taking a closer look at how we went about it. Now, of course, Brighton were awful in this game, and particularly in the second half, made it extremely easy for most sides to expose them. But we had to be there, right place, right time. If we didn't do half the things we did in this game, we don't win 7-0. We probably still win because Brighton weren't great at all. But 7-0 is a whole nother story. Forest had a similar day against Bournemouth the week before, and it's the fact that we did that and then did this that is so impressive and really shows the true character of this team. Okay, we lost 5-0, but this is who we really are. Now, it's the way we set up in this game that's particularly impressive, and Steve Hodge made a good point in commentary. It's the way we set up without the ball that made it particularly difficult for Brighton. And again, something that we were awful at against Bournemouth. Without the ball, and even with it, but without the ball, no structure at all against Bournemouth. Backing off, no real clue what we were going to do. Here, we were perfect, really. This has been made a point of online, and I can't really show clips for too long because of copyright, but this is just unbelievable. This is the team that works extremely hard for their manager, getting back all in sync. I cannot get bored of watching that. We lose the ball here from Nico Williams. Oh well, everyone charging back. Even Alanga, who has been criticised in the past for not defending. That is incredible. And I think if I go back a bit more, they are all in a line. It's not only the fact they get back to their exact position. But a back three for this game, something that we've seen be effective this season, like against Brentford away from home. We've not seen it all that often from the start though. And you saw Alanga in a 2 with Chris Wood, and the midfield is where I am going to particularly focus on in this video, because it was Danilo coming back in out of the blue, and he was outstanding in this game, and we're going to make a point of him in this video. But it was Danilo, Elliot Anderson and Morgan Gibbs-White, and it wasn't quite how you might have imagined it to be set up. It wasn't just Danilo and Anderson as just conventional number 8s and Morgan ahead of them. More often than not, without the ball, you saw it like this. On the left-hand side, Elliot Anderson being the one that was pressing. He was essentially acting as a winger. Danilo was always the one in the middle. Then when the ball was on the right, you saw Morgan Gibbs-White really coming far out to the right, and you don't always see him do that. He's normally down the middle. I mean, Morgan is everywhere, especially in a game like this when he was on one of his best games I think he's had for Forest. You've even got an example in motion here. They were very much playing in that sort of formation. But of course, Danilo was a real focal point of this game because he was coming back from injury properly, and he was outstanding. A little bit rusty here and there. That ball was obviously to Morgan, which led to the first goal. Of course, he was going to be a little bit rusty. He hadn't played a proper game since the start of the season, and even then it was more like pre-season because he was injured within 7 minutes of the first game. But a great ball for Morgan there, as you saw, and I'm going to look at actually these two working together in just a moment. There's an example here, Morgan onto Danilo, and yeah, he finds Elliot, of course. I'm just going to show quite a lot of Danilo just doing what he does, really. Here, getting stuck in, making it difficult, and quite often Morato is the one that linked up with Gibbs-White and Danilo, as you saw there. And even here, Danilo, complete intention to come out and press the keeper. Anthony Elanga doing it as well. And I'll come back to Danilo and Gibbs-White, but Anthony Elanga deserves a bit of extra attention as well, because he had, for me, one of his best games in a Forest shirt too. Here, picking up the ball, I remember at the time, it really got the crowd going, and I thought this is just quality from Elanga. Picking up the ball from the Brighton player, the confidence to just knock it past him, run onto it, and he ends up going way down the pitch. I'm not going to show that, because again, I want the video to actually stay on YouTube. This was for the third goal. He very nearly gets tackled, but it's like, you're not going to get me. Ball in, Chris Wood, right place, right time, and it's why Chris Wood's so good. This sort of service is crucial to his game, and it's not like, oh, without it, it'd be awful. He does an awful lot of great individual work, Chris Wood, but when he's getting those sort of balls put into him, it's like, that's just a dream for a striker. This is also Alanga, but it's also Gibbs-White. Of course, Alanga's ball in. I think we've finally sorted that out. You know, last season we just couldn't score from set pieces or defend them. We've now got Alanga, who was there all along, putting balls in like that, and a quality header, by the way, from Gibbs-White. I know no one was tracking him, but I don't think he cares. And I just want to briefly show you this. This is Murillo putting a beautiful ball up to Alanga. Could Alanga be a striker? Is this what Forest are thinking? Are we thinking, let's not sign a striker and just go with Alanga in a 2 from time to time? But I think that still doesn't address the fact that if something happens to Chris Wood or a Warner, you can't even really play a 2. But more to the point, Alanga in a 2 can be very effective. And this isn't even related to Alanga, but because I just showed you Murillo doing a long ball, this is just Murillo just making it look very easy. Back to Alanga for a moment, and this is also Alanga, Danilo and Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White winning it. Aina, I'm actually going to start saying Aina because that's how you meant to say it. Danilo and up to, of course, Alanga. And at this stage, Alanga's obviously, you know, takes on all these players essentially. Puts the ball in, and yeah, right place, right time. Now, back to a bit more of Danilo, but Danilo and Gibbs-White working together is something that I've noticed before even this game. Those two tend to really complement each other quite a lot. That Fulham game, for example, the third goal we scored in that game, it was created by Danilo and Gibbs-White. So those two really like playing together. Again, this is actually from Morata. As I said, Morata tended to be the one that fed these two. Again, you know, nice control, just plays it over to Danilo. He ends up playing it over to Anderson, I think, in this moment. Here, a little 1-2, just mugging off Danny Welbeck, being as he was actually, you know, not on the floor in this moment. Again, Danilo winning it back, finding Gibbs-White, and this is just quality. Okay, quality from Gibbs-White. I remember watching this at the time, thinking, wow. Because he just turns, mugs off João Pedro and Matoma, and he's like, yeah, I'll just get stuck in, get back up and play a pass. That's what Gibbs-White is all about. And so's this. Just, okay, in complete free space, but that is still just a joy to watch. And at this stage, Forest are 5-0 up in the game, I believe. We did score quite a lot of goals. What I really loved about the final 15-20 minutes of that game is once we went 5-0 up in particular, it was just wave after wave, and it was, you could just see the confidence in the team. Let's just go for this, let's keep getting more and more goals, because why not? We're in the flow. And they lose the ball, Brighton, from Gibbs-White. This is just so good to see. Wood gets it, immediately turns, and you just see Anderson go for it, Morgan, Aina, all moving forward, all again at the same time, all synchronised. Again here, ball back, Dominguez pressing. Awani was pressing just before that, and Jota, I mean, he's been given stick, but had to be there, and he had to finish it. It's a great finish from Jota, and that's 7. So, you know, the point with those two last clips is the intensity, the pressing, to just do even more than what we were doing. We were 5-0 up, we could have just, you know, sat back, but no, we saw the opportunity of absolutely destroying Brighton, and we took it. So I don't think it's personal, Brighton, but yeah, sorry, I suppose. So there's quite a few other things I could probably point out. I mean, specific players. I mean, Elliot Anderson, again, outstanding. Nico Williams. There's so many other players I could pick out. But I do feel Danilo coming back in was a big thing. Gibbs-White, instrumental. Alanga, instrumental. And the way we defended and attacked as a team was so impressive, especially from what had happened the week before. So that is a team that is very well drilled, very hard working, and really is so together and committed to work for each other and for their manager, and it's a joy to watch. So if you have enjoyed this video, everyone, please hit the like button, subscribe to Rads if you're new. I don't do these videos all too often, but I think it's good that they're spread out. But this season, I mean, with all the wins we've got, I could have done quite a lot more, but I feel this one definitely deserved it. And because there's a bigger gap before we next play a game, there will be another video before next Tuesday. So stay tuned, everyone, for that. and up the Reds.